Well, if you are in the market looking for a new place to live, a new home, really thinking about, gosh, I think I would like to go someplace new, well, the city is here to help. Yes, you heard that right. The City of Greeley has a program that might just help you find that perfect home that you've been looking for. And here to tell us more about this program is Benjamin Snow, who is Greeley's Economic Health and Housing Director. Benjamin, great to have you here today.
Always great to be with you, Amy.
All right, so what we're talking about today is the Greeley Home Ownership Program for employees, or as we like to call it, G-HOPE. Can we give our viewers an idea of what G-HOPE is all about?
Sure. G-HOPE is a program that we launched about 7 years ago here in the city. It is slanted a little bit in favor of East Greeley because we realized there was a little bit of a disconnect from where people were living and where they were working. So the program is designed to tie those two elements a little bit closer together by providing some down payment assistance from a fund here at the city.
All right, so you mentioned that originally it was about 7 years ago that this started, but just recently there have been some updates to that program which have changed things up, expanded the area, made maybe a few more opportunities for folks to get involved.
That's right. We're very excited. The program has changed in a couple of ways. The first way is we've expanded the geographic limits of the program and adding about 8,000 homes, making those eligible. But we continued to have the focus be on East Greeley. So what's happened is we've included new areas, all still east of 35th Avenue, and we've also increased the dollar amounts for the grants. So those are the two biggest changes.
Okay, so now you've piqued some interest here. We've heard some dollar amounts in some different areas. So can you give us an idea of kind of those incentives and how that works? So basically I'm going to apply. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But once I do, there's kind of a map that I can look at. And when I'm considering where I want to live, then there's different levels of incentives that I could qualify for, correct?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And so what we've tried to do is create an incentive structure that the further east you go within that, what we call the redevelopment district in Greeley, the higher the incentives are. And the program is pretty simple as far as how it works. It's a forgivable loan, so it becomes a grant. So over a 5-year period, each year, 20% of that down payment assistance is forgiven. So as long as you stay there for the full 5 years, it's a grant.
Okay, I'm taking a pause here because that's blowing my mind. I mean, that's a really great incentive right there alone, just that, to have something that if I'm just, I guess I want to say committing to living at home, then that grant, as you said, that loan can be forgiven. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think the premise behind this is we recognize it's a tough housing market right now. Interest rates are a little bit up, and we recognize that any little help we can be providing as a city that can nudge people into a home ownership situation is a good thing. So that's what the ideal outcome of this program is, that we get more people in homes in East Greeley who are also working in East Greeley.
Right. Okay, so now when I look at the name, Greeley Home Ownership Program for employees, explain that part of it to me.
That's a really important distinction. I'm glad you asked, because the program is really centered around the employee. We do have partnerships with employers who are located in East Greeley. There's about a dozen who have signed up for this program, but it can be that we can take new employers every month. If there's a new opportunity, we'll take in a new employer. But the focus is on the employee, because we want that employee to get those benefits of living and working much closer together, and really making more of a livable situation for them. And that takes more traffic off of our roadways and creates a little bit more, more of an ideal situation for the live-work dynamic.
Okay, so let's switch gears just a little bit then. You mentioned the employees and that you have certain ones that are part of the program now, but I know that you're always looking for more employees, or employers, I guess I should say. And so if I am an employer and I'm interested in getting involved, I'm kind of a small shop. I mean, can I actually qualify for this? Can my employees get involved, or do I have to be like a big company to make it happen?
The beauty of the program is that it's really agnostic as to income. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You don't have to work for a large employer. You can work for a small employer. The only thing we do ask of the employers who sign up with the city in partnership fashion is that they help us with the accountability and reporting of this. So that, in other words, that person who took advantage of that program is still employed at a place in East Greeley. And so it has to be one of the employers who's signed up for our program. But it can be large or small, and we have examples of both so far.
Okay. Awesome. So if I'm an employer, I would just contact your office then to get involved?
That's right. Or it can even be driven from an employee, someone who works in East Greeley, east of 35th Avenue, and who's interested in this program. Then they can be a recruiting advocate for us, because then our office, which has good relationships with a lot of our businesses anyway, we can approach them together as far as having them join us with the G-Hope program.
All right. So if folks are now very interested because, hey, I was looking at buying a home, wasn't sure where I wanted to go, but now East Greeley sounded pretty good to me. How do I get more information about the program?
The best thing to do is to go and you'll see our map. So you go to City of Greeley and /GURA. You will be able to find the map as well as some details about the program. They can contact our staff, and we would be more than happy to kind of walk them through more of the details and make it as easy and seamless a process as possible for them.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Benjamin, thank you so much for being here today, giving us an update on the G-Hope program. Hopefully after we talk today, you'll get lots of phone calls and lots of people looking for some new place to check out and move into. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So make sure that you head on over to greeleygov.com/GURA for more information on the G-Hope program. Good luck finding that new home. Enjoy yourself. And again, that's greeleygov.com/GURA.